The future of the San Francisco 49ers is quietly being shaped right now, and it starts in the trenches, where one looming reality hangs over the franchise like a storm cloud on the horizon. Trent Williams cannot play forever, even if his performance suggests otherwise. At 37 years old, he is still operating at a level most offensive linemen never reach in their prime, ranking among the very best in football and landing at number 20 on Pro Football Focus Top 101 players list. That alone tells you everything about how essential he is to the identity of this offense. The 49ers are a different team when he's on the field, not just in production, but in attitude, physicality, and confidence. Yet the organization knows that the clock is ticking, which is why mock drafts projecting Georgia tackle Monroe Freeling as his eventual successor feel less like speculation and more like inevitability. Freeling's size, length, and athletic profile scream future franchise tackle, but the limited experience and developmental needs make this a high-risk, high-reward proposition for a team that still views itself as a contender right now, not a rebuilding project planning 3 years ahead. What makes the potential succession plan fascinating is the contrast between Williams' dominance and the fragility of the rest of the offensive line. While the unit had solid performances across most positions in 2025, the left guard spot became a glaring vulnerability, exposing how thin the margin for error is in front of Brock Purdy. Spencer Burford's league-worst pressure rate at the position illustrates a problem that goes beyond one player. It highlights a philosophical approach the 49ers have taken for years, prioritizing skill position talent while trying to patch the interior offensive line through mid-round picks and developmental players. That approach has worked just enough to avoid crisis, but not enough to eliminate concern. If Williams were to miss extended time, the entire structure of the offense could collapse. The outside zone run game, the play-action concepts, the deep developing routes, all of it depends on stable edge protection. Without it, even the brilliance of Kyle Shanahan's scheme becomes vulnerable. And that brings us to the broader roster puzzle facing this team. The 49ers are navigating a delicate transition from a veteran-loaded Super Bowl window into the next phase of sustainability. Trade rumors involving Mac Jones reveal the front office's willingness to extract value from every asset, even a quarterback who proved he can function as a competent starter during Purdy's absence. His 5-3 stretch demonstrated that Shanahan's system can elevate quarterbacks, which in turn increases Jones' value around the league more than it does within San Francisco. Meanwhile, speculation around Brandon Aiyuk's trade value underscores the financial tightrope the franchise is walking. Paying everyone is impossible, and the decisions made over the next year will define whether this remains a perennial contender or slides into the dangerous middle ground of the NFL. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the 49ers' future and want more analysis that goes beyond headlines and into the real strategic implications, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now because we're going to be tracking every move this team makes throughout the offseason and breaking down what it actually means on the field. The draft strategy adds another layer of intrigue. Prospects like slot receiver KC Concepcion and bigger-bodied target Denzel Boston represent two different philosophical directions for the passing game. Shanahan has historically preferred receivers who can block in the run game, which is why Boston's size and physicality might appeal more despite Concepcion's explosive speed and separation ability. This is not just about adding weapons. It's about maintaining the offensive identity that has defined the Shanahan era. The same applies on defense, where potential edge rush targets such as Zion Young fit the mold of strong run defenders with pass rush upside, complementing Nick Bosa rather than duplicating him. The 49ers don't just draft talent. They draft specific traits that fit a precise blueprint. Looking back at the 2017 draft class provides a sobering reminder of how unpredictable team building can be. That first draft under Shanahan and John Lynch produced one undeniable cornerstone in George Kittle, a fifth-round pick who became the emotional engine of the team and one of the most complete tight ends in football. Beyond him, the class is a mix of missed opportunities, off-field issues, injuries, and role players who never reached their projected ceilings. Yet, even that imperfect draft laid the foundation for the culture that would carry the franchise back to relevance. It also indirectly led to Brock Purdy, whose arrival through a compensatory pick changed the trajectory of the organization. Team building in the NFL is rarely linear, and the 49ers are a perfect case study in how success often emerges from unexpected places. The urgency to find another impactful tight end in free agency hints at a subtle shift in offensive evolution as well. With Kittle battling injuries and entering the later stages of his career, the idea of pairing him with another dynamic mismatch weapon could transform the passing game into something even more difficult to defend. In a free agent market thin at wide receiver, pivoting to tight end makes strategic sense. It would allow Shanahan to maintain heavy formations that disguise intentions while still creating explosive plays downfield. This is the chess match element of roster construction that separates elite organizations from the rest. Ultimately, everything circles back to the same question. How do you extend a championship window while preparing for the inevitable decline of the players who created it? The 49ers are attempting to thread that needle by investing in the future without sacrificing the present. Drafting a potential heir to Trent Williams while he's still dominating. Exploring trades that reshape the salary structure without weakening the core. Identifying young playmakers who can step into major roles when veterans age out. It is a delicate balancing act, and history shows how quickly it can unravel if even a few decisions go wrong. As the offseason unfolds, every rumor, mock draft, and free agency whisper is really a clue about the organization's internal timeline. Are they pushing all their chips in for one more run, or quietly retooling for the next era? The answer will reveal itself not in one blockbuster move, but in a series of calculated decisions that, taken together, determine whether the San Francisco 49ers remain among the NFL's elite or become another cautionary tale of a window that closed too soon. If you want to stay ahead of that story and understand the real impact behind every signing, trade, and draft pick, subscribe and turn on notifications now, because this offseason is going to define the next decade of 49ers football, and you won't want to miss a single development.